Imagine for a moment, if you will, the horse at the turn of the last century. As humans learn to power a box with wheels, the horse is needed less and less. Humanity may soon go the way of the horse, unneeded for our intellect or our labor. This is the reality this generation is facing, as advancements in robotics and artificial intelligence will soon render a significant percentage of the population unemployed. Now, I would like to stress that this is not the way I wanted to write this speech originally. I mean, jobs being automated out of existence is the most generic information a person can give in this day and age regarding what work will be like in the future. That being said, after doing the research, I have come to the realization that it would not only be inappropriate but negligent to not center my speech around this issue. The coming unemployment crisis will be unprecedented on a level not yet seen in human history. I would also like to stress that this is going to be our problem. Not our children's problem, not our parents' problem, but our problem. This is something we are going to have to deal with for a significant percentage of our lives, and it may very well define us. That being said, not everything in this speech is doom and gloom. There are potential solutions to help mitigate these problems, such as UBI and political reform. But these are only potential solutions. They have to be implemented to work. Like I said, there are solutions, and one of the most talked about is a system called Universal Basic Income, or UBI. It really became part of the American political landscape in 2020, thanks to American presidential candidate Andrew Yang. The premise is fairly simple. Every citizen receives a regular, fixed amount of money simply for being a citizen of that country. It would not be a lot of money, just enough that no one would have to resort to living on the street in hard times, and hard times are coming. The system could spark a transition into a world where a job is something certain people have in order to improve society, but not a necessary obligation of every citizen. This change may be essential in order for us to continue. In a world where a significant percentage of the population is unable to find work simply by there not being a job available, we as a society may be forced to evolve into one where having a career is not an essential part of life. I hope that this illustrates the level of societal change that may be required in the coming decades. That, of course, is our best case scenario. We manage to change and overcome this obstacle and continue to thrive. Go us. Recent events have led me to question the plausibility of this. It's an unpleasant thing to think about, but what if we fail? What would that look like? Well, it's unfortunate, but there is every possibility that humanity will fail. And in the event that we do, the world could become a very bleak place by the end of this century. Mass unemployment will lead to fewer jobs being available, and the jobs that are available will be of little pay and hard labor. Thanks to Houston Foresight, a study conducted by the University of Houston at the request of NASA, we have a few good ideas about what the world could look like if these changes are not prepared for. This study found 4 likely scenarios that depend on humanity's reaction to this crisis, and most of them are terrifying. The first suggests a continued advancement in AI capability, ultimately leading to a close call with artificial sentience, whereby humans would pull the plug on AI, resulting in a Y2K-like event of near catastrophe. What would follow would be an unprecedented vacuum left in the workforce that could cause a period of social turmoil that may lead anywhere. The second scenario is one of continued modern trends that is often jokingly called the most unlikely scenario, as societal change is almost inevitable in modern times. The third is far more depressing. It depicts a world that did not plan for and therefore was left behind by the new technology. To call the description dystopian would be an understatement. The best comparison I can make for what I read would be the society depicted in the video game series Fallout. It was truly horrifying to see the predictions made by expert futurists, such as Laura Schellhuber, the research director for the Houston Foresight Program, and April Khoury, the senior researcher at the University of Houston. The fourth and final of these predictions is not one of terror or gloom, but one of hope. It describes a world that was prepared, a world that manages to overcome the challenges that we will soon face of poverty and unemployment, and this is the world I want to live in. But we are the people who are going to have to make that world, so we better start now. The world is changing. That statement's been true for a while now, but that change is accelerating. The world our children will grow up in will be much different from the one we did. This is the beginning of that change, and if we don't want to be left behind, we need to accept that that change is coming, and it's coming soon. Thank you.